Here comes Mayor.
Rabbi Levitt, Nehemia.
Okay, Nehemia. So,
Well, here comes my
good morning, Mayor. Okay, so everybody have a safe Nehemia?
Yes.
mhm. Yep.
Okay. Let's see where we got up to. Marked it off. Yud Zion. Yud Zion. Okay. Lou, would you like to start off?
Okay. V'hayehudim v'hasiganim me'ah v'chamishim ish v'haba'im elenu min hagoyim asher sivivosenu al shulchani. Okay, let's see what it means. Also, I supported the work of this wall, so we did not buy any field.
Uh, 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 uh.
Yud Zion?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm reading 16. I wrote on 17. Ordinary Jews and nobles, 150 men.
Did we do the notes from the previous pasuk? Maybe we didn't do them.
Um, I don't recognize that we did it.
So let's do it.
Okay. Um, let's see. I supported the work of this wall. I constantly urged the workers to apply themselves to the work of building the wall, according to Rashi and Mitsudos. The term hechezakti, supported, indicates an ongoing program to maintain an effort. Mitrani translates, I also held my money for the construction of the wall. I made no other expenditure but spent all my money for the construction of the wall. We did not buy. We refers to Nehemia and his companions, according to Rashi. The Kohanim, according to Ibn Ezra. Field. My companions and I did not buy the fields of those who were involved in the construction of the wall, although they were in need of funds. Instead, we donated money to them so that they might keep their fields and continue building the wall, according to Rashi and Mitsudos. According to Ralbag, the explanation is we did not buy fields, for this would have required that the fields be cultivated, and we were completely involved in the work of the wall. Nehemia stressed his inability to buy fields in order to indicate that he was, at the time, without an income. Yet he refused to accept the governor's stipend for work. They were building constantly, according to Rashi. Okay, so back to 17. Ordinary Jews and nobles, 150 men, in addition to those proselytes who came to us from the nations around us, were at my table. The commentary says, in addition to those proselytes who came to us from the nations around us, this refers to proselytes who came to the Jews, Rashi and Mitsudos, at my table. 150 men and those who came from the nations ate at my table, according to Rashi.
Wow.
I supported them since they were engaged in the construction of the wall, according to Rimitrani. As a result of my support of these people, my expenses were enormous, according to Ralbag and Malbim.
Wow. So Rashi says, in other words, the pasuk just says that they were just calls them goyim. Haboim aleinu min hagoyim. The ones that came to us from the nations of the world. Rashi says over here in this pasuk Yud Zayin. He calls them gerim. Hayu ochlin al shulchani levad hagerim haboim aleinu mina obdei kochavim. Avhem hayu ochlin al shulchani. Okay, you had a very large table, I guess. 150 men.
That costs a lot.
Yeah. Well, especially since he wasn't getting a salary from the king. He refused to take the salary that the king was prepared to pay him. Okay. Okay, so we go to pasuk Yud Ches. Go to Roy.
אשר היה נעשה ביום אחד, שוב אחד ציון שש ברוריס וציפורים נעשו לי ובין עשירס יומים בכל יין להרבה ואם זה לחם הפכה לא ביקשתי כי כבודו העבודה על העם הזה. And this is what was prepared for one day. 1 ox, 6 choice sheep, and birds were prepared for me, as much as 10 days' supply of all types of wine in quantity. And with this, I did not seek the food allotted to the governor because the work was heavy upon his people.
I'm thinking maybe Nehemia didn't want to take a salary because he knew that the king wasn't going to pay it from his own pocket. He was going to pay it from taxing the Jews in the area. And since Nehemia didn't want that extra burden on the Jews, because he was concerned for them and also for the sake of the successful completion of the wall. So he wanted to make sure that that wasn't the heavy taxes were not going to be an obstacle to for the Jews. That's what it sounds to me from this pasuk. I did not request the governor's food, for the labor weighed heavily upon this people. somebody's going to explain the connection between those two things. Okay. Okay, so says that was prepared for each day was all this food, one bull, 6 sheep, and a fowl was prepared for me. It doesn't say who prepared it and whose money went to buy it. No, Nasuli was prepared for me. There's no discussion about it. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay, and every 10 days, a multitude of all sorts of wine. Among the 10 days, with all wine to a great amount. Each day, my guests drank a 10 days supply of wine. That sounds like a lot of wine, especially when you're building a wall. Alternatively, so much wine was drunk that the wine cellars had to be refilled every 10 days. And Ibn Ezra translates, 1 day's fare was an ox prepared for me every 10 days with all wine abundant. The meal described in this verse, together with abundant wine, was given every 10 days. The wine was generally limited, since too much drinking would have caused interruption of the work. Right. It was only once every 10 days that the wine was provided in abundance to be drunk freely. Okay, so this business with the 10 days is not so understandable. I mean, person needs to eat and drink more than once every 10 days. Not sure how it works.
I've got here that between 10 days, and every day they drank much wine, the amount that suffices for 10 days. So Rashi, Ibn Ezra, and Masuda David explained that 1 day out of 10, Nehemia would serve a large quantity of all types of wine. Ralbach explains that once in 10 days, his winery would be restocked in order to serve much wine every day. Malvern explains that Nehemia would tithe his days, fasting 1 day out of 10 and not drinking wine. Therefore, he says, as much as 10 days, meaning 9 out of 10 days, he would serve a large quantity of all types of wine. Yeah.
Okay. So it's all many different interpretations because it's really not so clear from the pasuk what exactly it's saying. So okay. Oh. So then the pasuk says ve'im zeh lechem hapecha lo bekashti. But even with this, I didn't ask for bread from the governor. Despite the great expenditure and my lack of income, I did not request the governor's stipend. I did not request the stipend that the governor was entitled to collect as a tax from the people.
supports what you said before.
Yeah, Ibn Ezra's interpretation, however, is I did not request the governor's bread. Governor's meat and wine was collected from the people since they had sufficient supplies of these. It was the bread which was in short supply because of the famine that Nehemia did not collect from the people. In contrast to this, the earlier governors also taxed the people for bread. For the labor weighed heavily upon this people. This refers to their labor in constructing the wall and for the king's taxes. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, that seems to be the situation that Nehemia was concerned that if he would take a salary, then it would have an adverse impact upon the many of the Jews that were there that would be hard pressed to be taxed for that purpose, in addition to what they were paying already, and the whole general situation over there. So he that's what he chose to do. Okay, Pasuk Yud Tes. We go to Mayor.
Okay, Yutet. Zachrali Elokai, the Tova, kol asher asiti al ha'am hazeh. So remember in my favor, oh my God, all that I did for this people. Zachrali Elokai Latova. Remember in my favor, oh my God. Consider my actions as a source of merit for me. Mitsudo. One opinion in Sanhedrin asserts that Nehemiah was punished for this request by the deletion of his name as the author of his book. Ooh. Although King David made a similar request in Psalm 106, remember me, Hashem, when you show your people favor. David's request was acceptable since he called on Hashem, he called on God, to exercise mercy in remembering his good deeds. Nehemiah, however, erred in thinking that his good deeds in themselves made him deserving of merit, even without God's compassion. No man may justifiably make this assumption, and for this Nehemiah was punished. Let's see, where's it go? I was punished. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. No. What Anaf Yosef ben Yaakov explains that David addressed God using the four-letter name Yud Kei Vav Kei, which denotes mercy. Nehemiah, however, invoked the name Elokai, a reference to God as the dispenser of justice. Anaf Yosef further explains that David was deserving of merit even by the exacting standards of divine justice. Nevertheless, he based his entry on the mercy of God as if he himself had not earned merit, recognizing that no man becomes righteous without God's help. Nehemiah, too, earned his exalted station according to the righteousness inherent in his life. His entreaty, in which he neglected to call upon God's mercy, reflected this and was found wanting. For this shortcoming, he was punished. Al ha'am hazeh, for this people, remember all that I did for the good of this people, Matsudo. Mabim presents an alternative explanation. Remember in my favor all that I did upon his people, this people. let my good deeds be accredited, not to me, but to the entire people. Let the favor I enjoy because of my good deeds be visited upon this people. Nehemiah's request is based on the principle that the merits of the saintly protect, on the merits of the saintly protect the entire Jewish people. Zechut HaTzadikim minena. This will be consistent with the Talmud statement that Nehemiah was punished for asking God to credit him. Nehemiah thought that he was deserving of credit and asked that his credit be transferred to the people. This was an improper assumption, since no man can presume to be deserving of credit, but may gain favor only through God's mercy.
Right. Right. Just like we say in a couple weeks ago, Parshas Veschanan, that Veschanan is a language of tefillah. And that was what Moshe Rabbeinu was doing. He davened 515 tefillahs to go into Eretz Yisrael, but he wasn't appealing to Hashem based upon all of his merits. He was based upon Hashem being the Av Harachamim and the Gomel Chesed, and that Hashem would do with Moshe Rabbeinu Chesed and Rachamim, and that's alluded to in the word Veschanan, because Veschanan has in it the word Chen. Chen is something that's given, so to speak, for free, like Chinam. Not because Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't asking because he has merits. He was asking, so to speak, for a freebie. That's the proper tefillah. The Gemara calls tefillah in many places when somebody was boy rachme. He was requesting rachamim. That's the way the Gemara refers to somebody davening. Okay. Very good. So with that, we have concluded chapter 5, Perek Hey. A round of applause. Hooray! Wow. Okay, and now we're going to start Perek Sheish. Perek Sheish? Yeah. Chapter 6. Okay. Whose turn is it? Back to Lou.
Vayehi cha'asher nishma lisan valat v'tovia ule geshem ha'arvi ule yeter oivenu ki vanisi es ha-choma v'lo no sar ba paretz gam ad ha'es hahi de la sos lo ha'a maditi bish arim. Now, when it was reported to Sanballat and Tobiah and to Geshem the Arab and to the rest of our enemies that I had built the wall and no breach remained in it, and also that as of that time I had not yet erected doors in the gateways. So let's see. There's an introduction to chapter 6. Chapter 6 returns to the subject of the narrative in chapter 4, the enemy's resistance to the establishment of a viable Jewish community centered in Jerusalem. However, while chapter 4 deals with the enemy's threat to the reconstruction effort, our chapter depicts the endeavors against Nehemia, realizing that he was the driving force behind the dramatic rise in the fortunes of the Jewish community. They determined to destroy him. And also that as of that time, I had not yet erected doors in the gateways. Mitsudos explains why the information that the doors were not erected is now relevant. Shemaiah, in collusion with the enemies, attempted to draw Nehemia into the sanctuary, arguing that he needed the protection of the sanctuary's locked doors against those who wished to murder him. This argument was valid only because the city walls did not offer protection since the doors had not been erected. Malbim explains the mention of the missing doors differently. As long as the doors were not in place, the construction was not fully completed, and the enemies still had hopes of stopping it. Later, however, when it was completed, they became despondent and abandoned this hope. Thus, we are informed of their final effort to halt the construction before the doors were erected and the city's wall was fully in place.
Yeah, I mean, it's very nice if you have a wall, but if you have you don't put the doors in the gateway, so then there's no greater a breach in the wall than a lack of a door. Okay, so now we're going to see what's going to happen. Basic base. We go to Roy. Do we have time?
We have 1 minute.
1 minute.
Can't find base. Oh yeah. Vayishlach Sanballat Vageshem Eile Alai Lamor Lachor Vaniv Ador Yachtov V'Kopirim B'Vik'as Elnau V'Hama Chashavim L'Asos L'Iro. Translating as, then Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, come, let us meet together in Kephirim, in the valley of honor. And they were plotting to do me harm.
Huh. Okay, very good. So, Pasuk Gimel for tomorrow. Everybody have a great day. Mayor, all the best.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Be well, everyone.
Have a good day, Mayor.
Okay, Lou. Take care, Roy.
You too. See you.
Thank you.
Right.
We'll be back.